So when you see yourself in very limited label terms, and especially in powerless terms, you are creating a self-fulfilling prophecy through this feedback loop where your perceptions are interacting with possibility and creating an experience of your perceptions. When you break out of that and you self-identify the I to be the consciousness that's having the experience, the very fact that you have expanded your self-identity from Ethel on the checkout to infinite consciousness having an experience as Ethel on the checkout, then that very expansion of self-identity creates an expansion of consciousness. And now you are interacting with the quantum field of possibility and probability, cosmic Wi-Fi as I call it, in a much more expanded way and on a much more high frequency. And that means that you are able to tap in to a vastly greater scale of possibility and probability, and your life starts to change. And I know this from my own life, and I know it from talking to other people who've been through this process. And it's not sitting cross-legged on a mountain, just saying mantras. It's not going on quests and fasts. It's simply saying, I am not my labels, I am the consciousness having them, infinite awareness having them. They are my experiences, they're not me. And what happens is, people notice, I did in 1990, 91, big time, suddenly amazing synchronicity starts to happen. Like what we would call bits of luck. That things just drop in your lap and things just start to happen. And you'll meet someone in a situation where you'd say, what's the statistical chances of this? And it becomes, and life becomes an adventure because amazing things are happening to you. Everything's just dropping in your lap. Whereas people think they have to strive for that. They chill out and realize that actually we're picking out of the cosmic internet through our perceptions, our experiences. We'd realize that instead of having to strive for them, we just attract them. And so as people in little me mode go through lives and there's no synchronicity and life's kind of, everything's the same. Of course, everything's the same because you're accessing such a tiny band of possibility and probability, your life's going to reflect that. But suddenly it opens. And over the last 30 years, I could not have written that book. I could not have written any of the books, especially the number I've written. And I could not have done the things that I've done if I only worked on the five senses, sitting down in a room trying to work it out. This information has come to me in the most amazingly synchronistic way. It's like some force has been handing me puzzle pieces in a jigsaw puzzle in an order that makes it easiest to see where the pieces go. And the more pieces you put in, of course, the more you see the picture, the quicker you put the pieces in, and that's how it works. And this is not, this guy, Icke, sitting cross-legged on the mountain going, like this. Anybody can do this. Anybody can do this. It's just a choice. People watching this now, you can transform your life by transforming your self-identity and living it. Because one thing that happens when you start to expand your awareness is you realize that what people say about you and do about you is doesn't fucking matter. They'll do something else tomorrow. Mm-hmm. When people have a go at us, but the people that ridiculed me in the street 20, 30 years ago, they're now stopping me in the street wanting to talk seriously about this information. We must remember this. Whatever they're saying now, they'll say something else tomorrow. Mm. So don't let it affect you. And it doesn't affect you because you start to realize, hey, I am a point of attention within an infinite state of consciousness, of which we're all points of attention of the same consciousness. And I am potentially, if I want to open myself to it, I am all that is, has been, and ever can be, which is what all possibility and all potential is. Everything has been, is, and ever can be. And I'm concerned about some prat of a troll in his bedroom hurling abuse at me on the internet. I'm infinite frickin' awareness. But if you're little me, identifying with your label, then that troll can take on a real much greater impact upon you.
Do you think you have to hit a certain point, though? Sometimes people call it rock bottom. When you get to that point in your head where it's like, this is the worst thing that can ever happen to me, or I'm in the worst place ever, and you realise, but I'm still alive. This isn't that bad. This is all like, you have to actually be put in that situation to realise how not serious it all is.
Got a great line from a song. Freedom's just another word for nothing left to lose.
Well, when you've got when you've
once
got
you've lost everything, you're free to do anything.
Exactly. That's the phrase, isn't it?
It can set you free.
Yeah.
Because
I've been there a few times myself.
Yeah. Well, when you've lost everything, you've got nothing left to lose. So, and if you analyze people, especially people with lots of money, they are imprisoned by fear of losing it.
Madonna.
Right? fear of losing it. Because they've got something to lose. And again, when you get into this self-identity of being a state of infinite awareness, just moving through reality, and this is just a temporary experience we're having, then what is there to frickin' lose?
Well,
whether you've got money or whether you haven't, it's just an experience.
You lose it all at the end. You kind of take it with you.
Yeah, exactly. But you gain it all, because once you leave the body, this reality is such a prison compared with what's beyond it.
One thing we brought up earlier was the Princess Diana death. You alluded to the fact that you thought she was murdered.
Yeah.
I mean, why do you think that?
Well, she knew literally and symbolically where the bodies were buried for a start.
What bodies?
Well, what I mean is, she knew the big secrets of the British royal family.
Oh, okay.
The lady who was a friend of hers, close friend of hers for 9 years, and like I say, acknowledged as such in the media, was telling me the horrific way she was treated by the British royal family. And one of the people that Diana focused on in terms of